Welcome to the Money Manifestation Mastery podcast with your host, Lara Waldman, where we talk all things money. Big money, big purpose, big power. Waking up your wealth for heart-centered business owners and entrepreneurs. In today's episode, we will be breaking up with business patterns. We are going to be looking at the importance of releasing and letting go of old, outdated ways of doing things that are simply no longer aligned, and how to hold space for what is coming. I'll be sharing my personal story with you of what I've been breaking up with this last year. And I would love to know what you're currently facing, what you're currently being called to release and let go of in order to create space to welcome in the new. Let's dive in. Hello and welcome back. How are you doing? How are you doing today? I'm always so curious to know what's going on for you. What are you facing? How are you feeling? What is going on in your life? What is going on in your work? I would love to know. The conversations I've been having this week have been beautiful, incredibly powerful. And I want to let you in on some of these conversations around the themes I'm seeing currently that are showing up for my clients and some of the conversations I've been having, as well as for myself personally. And I'm curious to know if any of this resonates with where you are right now. Here in London, it is mid-December. We are nearing the darkest time. We are in winter. And there's a sense of things closing down for the Christmas period. This is also tied up with the end of the year, the closing of the year we've just had. But I'm always tapping into the energy, into the pulse, where the alignment is. And right now, the theme seems to be the closing of chapters, the ending of cycles. We are saying goodbye to the year we've just had, and also saying goodbye to some of the old patterns, programs, ways of doing things that are simply no longer aligned with where you're going. And the way that I like to do this process is not by trying to run away from the past or get rid of it or thank God that's over. We unhook, detach, and let go from a place of relaxation, safety, and honoring and acknowledging what's just been. So there is an invitation now to simply let go of old, outdated ways of doing things. And yet old habits can die hard sometimes, and it's natural to slipstream into old ways of doing things, habitual ways of thinking, of perceiving, of being, of doing. And yet, when it comes to manifestation mastery, consciously creating in alignment with your heart, body, and soul, part of this work is about holding space for what is to come and being brave and courageous to let go of what was. Essentially, withdraw your energy from the old and start to feed your energy into the new. And even though this is a relatively simple process, it's not so easy for the mind, for the hard wiring of your system. So it is a practice and it is a discipline. From my experience, you need to consciously choose what it is that you want each and every day and consciously choose to withdraw your energy or your focus from the old ways of doing things. This is part of retraining yourself, rewiring to receive. Rewiring to welcome in what it is that you truly desire. But I want to acknowledge that can bring up a lot. That can bring up old grief. It can bring up stress. You can actually go through a detoxification process as you start unhooking from old ways of doing things, which can leave you feeling low or down. If you've ever done a detox from alcohol or sugar or any foods that aren't good for you, you'll know that those first few days can sometimes be really hard as you're going through that detox process. And the same applies when you're detoxing from old ways of doing things. You can feel sad or low. Deep feelings can come up. It can make you feel bad temporarily as you hold space for what's coming. And what I know is if you can ride those waves and stay with that process and trust the process and keep holding that space for what's to come, you'll see in time that there'll be a new peak out of this pit. And so this week in my client calls and conversations, we've been holding space to really honor and acknowledge what was from a place of gratitude, even the hard stuff, even the seemingly bad stuff, honoring and acknowledging what was to help with the releasing process, the letting go. It's like a conscious death experience or a funeral for the past version of yourself. Creating rituals for releasing as a conscious ceremony can help support this process because you can remind the part of yourself that's scared to let go or gripping onto the old that it's safe to let go. Those rituals create a safe space to release what is simply no longer aligned. And the great news is when something is no longer aligned, it wants to go. It's time to go. And all you need to do is support that process. So it's important to remember that this is a discipline. This is a practice. And you need to remind yourself each and every day and redirect your focus, redirect your energy. When I've been deeply tuning into the energies this week, I've been taken into a very deep space of peace, of rest, of allowing. It's been absolutely beautiful. My sessions this week have been very quiet, very silent, not as many words. The higher self has been taking all of us into the power of space, the power of being, the power of not doing. It's incredibly beautiful when you finally drop in and surrender and allow the power of space to be with you. My client was saying before she started working with me, she was starving for spiritual space. She was so hungry for it. And now she can't believe how much lighter she feels, how much better she feels by having this space to tap in to the space of spirituality, getting resourced, refueled, reconnected, reignited from source, the universe, or higher self. This life force energy that's here and available to tap in each and every moment. But in order to tap that, we need to get out of survival, busyness, doing, rushing, forcing, pushing, stress, anxiety, pressure, all of the noise. Because all of that will mask the sacred space of spirituality, of deep connection, which I believe we really, really long for, that space of fulfillment, alignment, connection, a sense of meaning, a sense of purpose. And that is here. It is here, right now. And it wants to support you with whatever you want to manifest. So right now we're in this space, and it's the space of being, not doing. And in this space, you will be relaxing. And in that deep relaxation into this space, you will be releasing and letting go. And that can bring up old feelings, like I've said, as part of the detoxification process, so to speak, the unhooking, the letting go. So allowing yourself to grieve, allowing yourself to feel the feelings helps this energy to move And it will be temporary. This too shall change. This too shall pass. And allowing yourself to land into this new space within yourself. It's a step I call embody your wealth. Starting to embody who you are becoming next. And from deepening into the body and feeling really relaxed and releasing and creating that space, you will naturally open up to receive. All of your energy centers will start to open. All your cells will come alive. And you're creating space to receive what's next, what's new. And you can tap into that through meditation, through journaling, through being in nature, through moving your body, knowing that there is something beautiful coming on the other side. But that is in the unseen, that is in the unknown. So part of holding space is holding space for who you are and what you want, and trusting that process, So I'm wondering what you know it's time to let go of. What do you know is no longer aligned to be feeding energy into? I'm curious what that is. And let's hold space to allow the gentle and peaceful releasing of that. Thanking it, honoring it for all it was. Acknowledging it for all it's been. Because it served a purpose. It's been really important. Letting go of the attachments. Letting go of the meaning. Letting go of the past identities. This year for me has been a massive year of letting go of a very old pattern. And 2024 for me was the ending, the closing of a chapter of a long cycle. It feels to me like it's been just over 20-year long cycle, maybe even longer, the end of a karmic cycle. And I've been witnessing myself going through this, knowing that it's time, tapping into the consciousness of my soul, my higher self, my heart, my body. I'm clear on the vision. I know where I'm going. And yet watching this, the grip or the battle, the inner fight between the life that I was living and who I have been, and the patterns that go along with that, into the birth of who I'm becoming. And I've been watching this inner fight, this inner battle, this push-pull. And this has actually been going on for years because I've been very clear on where I'm going for a long time, but I was watching this inner fight. And that inner fight was happening through my nervous system, happening on a brain level, on an emotional level, on a body level. So I really understand how challenging it can be. What I've learned is to play the long game, because even though there's a part of me that's been fighting, I'm also very disciplined about the practice, and I keep showing up and leaning in and showing up and leaning in. And this pattern for me was developed from a very wounded relationship with my mother that actually birthed me as a healer. It birthed this whole body of work. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that wound. And yet it got to a point where that wound, that pattern, was massively holding me back from where I needed to go next. It became a very big leak, and it was showing up as all sorts of problems and patterns in my business, how I was showing up or not showing up in my business. Because I've been letting go of this pattern with my mother specifically for many years. In fact, I was guided to cut all contact with my mother for 1 year. Near the end of 2023, my inner guidance says you need to have zero contact with her for a whole year to help you rewire this pattern. Because every time you're in relationship with her, you rehook it. This was probably one of the hardest and most controversial things that I've done, because I knew it would create a lot of disruption and really hurt her and confuse other family members. But I knew it was right. I knew I had to do it for my own healing journey, for my own unhooking. And now I'm coming to the end now of 2024. and have been witnessing this really powerful journey of unhooking and rewiring that was supported through not having contact for this last year and understanding the deeper process I've been going through. And what's been so interesting is as I withdrew my energy from that particular relationship, I was able to then see how those relationship dynamics and patterns had mirrored themselves in my business and was actually creating leaks, was actually creating problems in me scaling and moving forward. So once I withdrew the connection with my actual mother, I could see the patterns for what they were and what they are, and then take responsibility for rewiring them and taking new aligned action. And yes, that's been uncomfortable. And yes, that has been scary. Because wherever we go, there we are. It is so hard to see our own patterns sometimes. And I have definitely needed support and facilitation to help me move through these patterns, which would show up as maybe avoidance or anxiety or rushing or not giving the full attention to things that they needed. It's been everywhere. It's so interesting. So as I have been rewiring the pattern, I've been able to make different choices and take different action moving forward that's much more aligned. The other interesting thing that's been happening is deepening into safety and security through my body, into my business, into my bank account. The separation that this trauma pattern had been creating is starting to dissolve. And there's a dropping in, an integration happening. And it's beautiful. Growing new roots into myself, into my work, into my life. But this has not happened instantly. This has not happened comfortably. But luckily, I understand the process to stay with it and work with this process in as gentle and peaceful and loving way as possible. So now I'm really in this process of letting go of these final patterns, honoring them for what they've been, sending them off with so much love and so much gratitude and so much care and compassion. And I also can't quite believe it because it's ready to go now. It's time. There was a time where I felt like I was bashing my head against a brick wall. I couldn't understand why I wasn't able to move forward. And now I am moving forward. And yeah, there is an excitement about that next step. There's some anxiety about the unknown of that. But I also understand that this is the process because as I've unhooked from these patterns of the past, I'm now looking forward into the unknown and this beautiful future that I get to build and I get to take radical responsibility for beyond the victim patterns, beyond feeling stuck, beyond feeling like I can't or I'm not allowed. All of those patterns that I've overcome. And now I'm just looking at this vast landscape of what I'm here to build and create and grow. And it's beautiful. But yeah, a little bit exciting, a little bit scary all at the same time. And I'm filled with so much gratitude for all the support that's got me here and all the support that's here, helping me to move forward, and all the support that's coming. And now the practice is really holding that space, holding the space for the final pieces that are being released and holding that space for the great unknown. I can see it. I have a sense of what's happening. I have an idea. I have a plan for the next year. But being with the part of ourselves that struggle with that, with not knowing, with building into the new. So yes, it's been a big year for me personally. And I know it's been a big year for many people. There's been a lot of challenges, a lot of growing pains, a lot of learning, a lot of unlearning. And I, again, am so curious where you are in this process. And I would really love to connect with you. I'd love to hear, I'd love to hold space for you and hear what's coming up for you and what you're moving through. So as we start to wind down this year, honor and acknowledge it, let go of these final pieces that are ready to be released, we're starting to hold space for what's coming in the new year, what's coming next. The Living Abundance team and I are getting ready for the Wealth Retreat that is starting on January the 6th, 2025. This is a free event. This is going to be a 5-day online event for big-hearted, soulful entrepreneurs, leaders, professionals, and we would love for you to join us. We are ready for you to book your free place. We'd love to grow this event and grow this community. So if you know anyone who would really value this work, this process, I'm going to be sharing my step-by-step process live with you. We're going to be joined by our exceptional clients and coaches who are going to be sharing their stories and experiences with you too. You'll be joining an incredible network of beautiful people. It is a safe space for you to show up in your full power and all that you want, all that you desire. You can't be too much in this space, as well as sensitivity and care and compassion for all the challenges and struggles that this path takes you on. It's absolutely beautiful. Power and sensitivity, strength and vulnerability. And we create powerful results, tangible results from this work. It truly is incredible. It continues to blow my mind. And I'd love to share this with you. We don't do fast food. We do the slow, cooked meal of manifestation work. Some things will come fast. We have people that manifest exceptional results during this free event. 10 grand clients, 70 grand contracts, all sorts of amazing things happen. But we're also in this for the long game. We're not rushing. We're doing the work. We're not expecting miracles, although we're open to them. We're also willing to do the work and build and create and earn. And this is really important. So we're opening to the magic of the universe and all that is. And we are doing the work on the ground. We're building, we're creating, and we're taking responsibility. So that's the game we play. And if this resonates with you, I'd love for you to join us. So you can visit my website, larawaldman.com. The link to the Wealth Retreat will be below as well. And I really look forward to being with you for the Wealth Retreat at the start of the new year. We also have the Live in London event, February 7th, 8th, 9th. We have a few spaces left for that. We'll be running that event again in June. So check out the link for that event as well. We'd love to be with you live in person for this transformational event. I would absolutely love to hear how this episode was for you today. Anything landing, any questions, any feedback, please come and share. I would love to hear. And I so look forward to being with you again next time. Thank you so much for joining us for today's episode. If you've enjoyed this content, please feel free to share it with someone who you think would benefit from this podcast. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and follow to never miss an episode. And I look forward to being with you again next time.